This much. Oh. Well, maybe I... That's a monkey dumpy. That's a monkey dumpy! Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Seppi the Nomad and you are watching the SH Monsterarts Godzilla Kong, The New Empire, well, Godzilla and Kong review. I figured since these are simple repaints that I would bundle them into one review, however they are decently outstanding enough repaints to get a full review. And guys, if you like these videos, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this around to your favorite collector. Or if you don't like the video, share it to your rival collector. People have those, right? So here you've been getting a look at the box and also the reverse side of it because there's a cool little X window. I did an unboxing for these guys individually if you want a closer look at the box, so I will link those videos for you in the description. But I have to say, these are wonderful boxes with great colors. I love the purples, pinks, and blues, and the X cutouts are a really nice touch. Here we have the figures out of the box, and just to get this out of the way, I know the discourse surrounding these figures. Let's all just remember that collecting is a hobby, and however you choose to collect is completely your prerogative, and no one can tell you what you do or don't like. That being said, these are nice looking repaints. Probably my least favorite head sculpt on Godzilla here, but I am digging the different take on his paint job. Also, huge points for removing the blue paint from his mouth. Kong also looks great right off the bat. I actually love this mold for Kong. I've spoken about that in the past. Not the biggest fan of his roaring head, but that's okay. So I am happy to see an update here for Godzilla Kong, The New Empire. But with that out of the way, let's jump into accessories first. We have Monkey Knuckies. I love you hands. Backhand hands, and let's experiment hands. We get a pretty cool repaint of Kong's axe. I have to admit I like the paint job on the 2021 Kong's axe better, and I wish they would have painted the blue portion in the grooves of the Godzilla dorsal plate, but this one has a neat trick up its sleeve. It's translucent, so that's pretty neat. And now we have the roaring head. I just think he looks like a goober, especially from the profile view. His eyes are facing straight forward though, so he passes the derp test. Good monkey. All right, G-Man's accessories. We have his atomic breath effect that is a little warped, but not as bad as some that I have seen. I like this sculpt, so wouldn't mind an update, but this one does the job, mostly. We will circle back to that. And it is translucent with a little bluish white paint on the tip here. Hand, give me that. Jaw. We will also discuss this later. As far as accessories go, not a bad offering here. Mostly for Godzilla though. Last release he had a paint job update and hands update with no breath effect, I believe. And this time he gets one, so that's good. Kong on the other hand, while being abundant with, well, hands, is lacking compared to the special release we got, where it included an axe, energy effect, heaves, a Mechagodzilla head, which wouldn't make much sense here, but the point is this is objectively a downgrade from the previous release, so overall a medium-sized thumbs up here for accessories. Sculpt and paint time, baby! Godzilla is up first. This time around they gave G-Man a darker charcoal gray paint as the base, which I am pretty partial to actually. His eyes automatically pass the derp test due to using this glowy blue paint with no pupils or anything, so he can't be derped. And his mouth is a deep red fleshy color. The teeth are kind of crest whitening strips like, but at least they got the general idea here. Although I would have liked to have seen a more muted, less bright color. Overall, the detail on the body is nice and clear as ever, and I like the two articulation cuts here. I've personally never been distracted by them. I love the sculpt on these more aggressive hands for Godzilla. I never purchased the GVK version, so I am glad that I can enjoy posing him with these hands this time around.
We love to see meaty thunder thighs.
And perhaps the star of the show, we have the dorsal plates. I love this color. This bright blue really pops off the shelf in any lighting scenario, and the only thing I would do differently is nix the clumsily applied white paint at the tips and like the veins of the plates. Other than that, big fan. Kong's turn, and just ignore the white specks on him. That is not a mispaint or anything. I just want to be clear. My popcorn ceiling in here just loves raining itself down on everything, and I can't wait until I move soon. But the big standouts here for Kong are that he has been oldified. He is graying, and especially in his beard, with touches of white at the edges. But I like this more distinguished look for our big fuzzball here. You will also notice no beast glove. We are getting that as an accessory with Scar King, I suppose. And this little Harry Potter scar on his back here isn't in fact from Voldemort, but from when Goji blasted him in Hong Kong. That sounds weird. Moving on. Oh. While he is gray, you can see hints of his younger self with some brown scattered throughout. A nice little attention to detail here that I quite enjoy. Good texture for the fur like last time, and unless this just happens to be a better unit than my GVK was, the sculpt looks tighter here. Like his diaper section doesn't extend out as far and is actually pretty flush with the rest of him. Face looks good. I like this relaxed face sculpt, always have, always will. It captures Kong's complexity and chillness pretty well. And his eyes are looking pretty straight ahead. You can get a closer look at the beard grays and whites here that actually extend up to his temples. Now Hiya, I love you, but pay attention. These are monkey cheeks. You see? Cheeks. Whoops, his leg popped off. Look at that dump truck on Kong. You understand? Get a good look. That's a monkey dumpy.
That's a fine
and nice texturing on his tootsies. So for sculpt and paint applications, not too shabby. Whether you are interested in this or not, want to collect them all, or skip some, this is a repaint that will be worth it for many collectors. I love the blue dorsal spines this go around, as well as the older, grayer Kong. These repaints did what they were supposed to do and just be different enough, as well as being recognizable to the film that they belong to. I guess less so for Godzilla, since he could be from any MonsterVerse film or series, but that being said, he still looks good, minus the doofy, melted looking face. So I am going to give sculpt and paint applications a thumbs up each, with the caveat that if we didn't know for a fact that there's going to be a Godzilla Evolved on the horizon, then for Godzilla here, this would be actually a thumbs down, but we know we were getting that Evolved version. In the unboxing, I said the tail was better articulation-wise. Oh, well, maybe I... Okay, so if you are careful, the articulation in the tail is fine. You can get him in a good swimming pose. Love to see it. He can look up this much, down about this much. His head is on a ball joint here. His jaw is also on a ball joint. What a nice, sturdy jaw. His tongue is articulated as well. Seems a bit less so than my 2019 version for some reason. Might just be QC issue. His arm can do a 360. Real smooth action here with the ball of the joint at his elbow. Hinge ball joint combo, it seems, at the wrist. Swivels. T-pose. Pretty good ab crunch with the 2 different points here and here. His leg can go forward this much, back that much, bend at the knee, swivel at the calf, little ankle rocker ball joint, and about the jaw. She sags, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Ugh. Kong, you're up. He can look up that much due to the ball joint at the head attachment and dumbbell ball jointed neck. His arm does a full 360. Swivel at the bicep. Double jointed elbow. Ball joint at the wrist. He's got this free floating section here under his chest. He can go back and forth this much, side to side this much. Oh. Ball joint at the waist. You got to be careful not to get this top piece stuck under the free floating piece if you overextend his ab crunch. He can get that back arch. His legs can do a full 360. Double jointed knee. Ankle rocker with some free floating pieces that sell the fur effect nicely down here. Tootsies.
It's my turn to play the Xbox.
This guy can be a little hard to get to stand upright and not topple over, but if you play around with him and learn his joint tolerances, especially in the feet, you can get him to stay put in many upright stances. You guys pretty much already know the deal with these guys as far as articulation goes. It is pretty impressive, especially for Kong. I don't know if it is because they are newer or if Bandai did something differently this go around, but the joints feel better, way smoother and sturdier. I'm pretty pleased with these releases in this area. You can get him into some pretty fun and dynamic poses, and Godzilla can do his atomic breath into the sky pose. In fact, that pose is like the only one I can get him into where his jaw doesn't sag. So for articulation, Godzilla-sized, thumbs up for both. Scale time! Godzilla stands at roughly a little over 6¼ inches. Kong is a bit shorter at about 5½ inches. Here they are with their previous MonsterVerse counterparts, now with their Hiya Toys counterparts. Here's them next to Hiya Toys Kong 2017 and the Skull Devil, SH Monsterarts Godzilla 1972 and Gigan, SH Monsterarts Godzilla 1991 and Godzilla -1, Hiya Toys Mothra, and I love you, alien! And here we have them with some scale buildings and Bandai fire effects. I realized I never recorded a video of them fighting, so just use your imagination. Final thoughts. Godzilla and Kong here are repaints, yes, but they are good repaints in my opinion. Sure, if you feel like you don't want to support Bandai potentially being lazy, then I totally understand that, and that is valid. And if you are on the opposite end of the spectrum where you want it all, or somewhere in between, also valid. This is a fun repaint of Godzilla with some bright colors to match the film's aesthetic, and Kong is looking older, and that matches the film as well. These releases also had decent to good articulation, and that shines here too. But you know how we do it here, folks. We rate these figures based on 2 different metrics. Are they bad, good, or great? And should you buy, wait, or boot it off the edge of the Hollow Earth? I know that makes no sense. I don't think the filmmakers know how that works either. I would say they are both good figures. Nothing really new other than paint, and I think they could be great if Godzilla had a new film-related accessory, like a drone to swat at when he's in France, or like Tiamat's gullet or something. And if Kong came with more accessories we've already seen him come with in the previous release. But since not, they are just good. I also think that they are both weights. I could be wrong, but it looks like you can still even find the GVK versions on the market, and if you aren't in a rush to get these or already have the previous releases, then I see no real need to rush out and buy them. But if you don't have any of the previous releases, and maybe you're a new fan of collecting or just a new fan of Godzilla in general and you want a cool collectible, then go for it. I think these will make you happy. Guys, that'll do it for this duel review. What do you think about these figures? Let's keep it civil in the comments, but I am curious to know how these releases make you feel, and if you're picking them up or not. Leave those thoughts in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video around. And guys, I just wanted to shout out my new members. We have Anonymous and Dunkin' Donuts. Thank you so much for becoming members. That means the absolute world to me. That means, guys, don't forget, memberships are now live on the channel. So if you want to become a member and get some perks while supporting the channel a little more, I would greatly appreciate it. But just know that your viewership is more than enough for me. So thank you, Anonymous and Dunkin' Donuts, and thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.